Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video of Advanced Wars by Well. This is also from the Global League series, just from the Global League. But this one is a bit old, but it's still an amazing match. This one is from like May or June of 2022, so it's like 1 year old. But it's even from before that I started playing, actually. But we have two insanely good players right here. First we have lvjd, who is he has multiple accounts. So he has like one account for each mode, but he is known for these weird, strange, out-of-the-box openings and strategies, especially the openings, but also like just using very strange units that you would never usually see. Like he'll make rockets in standard and fog, or like base skipping all the time to make a tank early, or just weird stuff like that. But every game is very entertaining from lvjd. And then we have also this player. It's a Chinese player that the replay viewer doesn't show the name because it has these Chinese symbols. But I think the translation is like Shasha.
随便杀杀.
So I'll be referring to this player as Shasha. And this player is insanely good as well. Plays standard and high funds, and has just plays one match at a time, and just like consistently beats top players one after the other. They just shot up in like the elo from 800 all the way up to 1500, and like I don't know, has just lost like very few times. Just an insane level of play from Shasha. And let's move on to the map now. This map is it's a high funds, so 2k income for property, and you got these labs as the HQ. There's only one, so it is a little bit how do you say, not like weak, vulnerable. It's a very vulnerable HQ/lab. Maybe not at first, but later on, when the armies pile up, you should be careful of. You should be look out for your lab, or it can fall. Like sometimes high funds maps will have like two labs or 3 labs, but this one has only 1, so you gotta be careful. And it is a 3 base map. 1, 2, 3 bases. It is a 2 airport map. You got one all the way over here, which is like super forward, super aggressive airport, already pre-owned. So you can make a T-copter super early, but also you can make copters, you can make bombers from fighters from you, be like boom, and just attack all this corner, this airport. You also have this one, which is all the way in the back. It's it's less strong, but it's nice to be able to send air to this corner over here. This one is like insanely strong. Not only that, we also have 1 port per player, and in this map the ports are very important. They are in a very strategic and strong place. Like this one is supposed to go for purple over here, and this one will go to green over here. And it has like this little lagoon or lake or something, and you can make a carrier, a 30,000 carrier, and you move it 1 tile here, and from there it airport locks this airport. So it's like boom, it's 8 tiles away. If you're great, you just sit it in that, or even better. A normal CO here, and a max carrier, super viable by the way. You just put it here and you're still locking the airport. Same here. But also battleships are very strong. You can make a battleship sit here or whatever, and it controls all this area. And you have like the most contested cities in this map are definitely like these 3 over here, and these 3, and then these in the middle right here. So you have like 8 cities to fight for. There might be more. It just depends like how much army you allocate to a zone. Yeah, there's a lot of fighting here and in the middle, and it's like, oh, there's also 2 calm towers. I just realized. I played the map like once or twice, but yeah, there's 2 calm towers, like one here and in the corner. So usually, purple will get this calm tower and will get this calm tower just because of the airport is like so close. So it's very easy to maintain control of this. But you kind of have to like. You gotta go fast because the other one can also contest, can send a B copter over here, can send a T copter. Like you can start fighting and trying to deny this. It's still very much under control of the person of the airport, but still. So there's like a lot of like so many things can happen, and one thing that it tends to stand out is to like delay the port from your opponent. Like purple wants to deny the green's port, and green wants to deny purple's port, because this port is super strong, and that's like very rare, you know, and usually naval sucks in Advance Wars, but in this map it's really strong. So last thing, let's go to the COs. This is a tier 2 matchup, and we got Stern and we got Drake. Stern for lvjd, the wacky player, the very out of the box player, lvjd, going for Stern. So maybe you can see recon, like early recon harassment, maybe rockets or missiles, you know, all to get all that movement. But you can also see the rocks, the big rocks go and destroying, which can be really strong, because like you'll have maybe a lot of bundled up naval units here, and then just drop the rock, and it's, you know, it's a lot of damage. And Drake also is always very strong in high funds, because gets is with 7 stars, does 20%, you know, damage. Also his naval is super strong, like has a very high defense, so great for this map. The air is a little bit bad for Drake, which kind of hurts, but you know, it's like a balancing act. Still, both seals very strong. Now, without further ado, let's move on to the match. Let's go. So we got first lvjd in the purple lightning, and we got Shasha in the acid rain green little soldiers. Both of them opening with a T-copter, which is probably the best opening for this map, because you can just bring it here and then you just start shifting the infantry around here. You can get this chain over here. We'll see what they decide to do with a T-copter. Well, actually decides to boost the guy over here, which could actually go down here, which is nice. And Shasha makes a copter. VJD gets the infantry in the T-copter and goes to this area right here. Yeah, either going here, or can go here, or maybe skips to this city and then goes to this chain and starts going for the airport. And lvjd makes a rocket. First vehicle, if you exclude the T-copter, it's a rocket. Such an early rocket. I mean, it is high funds things, right? But still, it's very funny to see a rocket this early, especially when there's a copter out as well. Like you gotta be careful. So Shasha also moving towards the middle to capture, probably going towards this one, which is, these two are super contested. You gotta get them early, else it's like you're just never gonna get it. Rocket moving towards the middle, making a copter. This copter doesn't reach over here, so it still has another turn to make something. Shasha making like an anti-air before a copter is even made. Bringing in the copter to put pressure over here, see if he can stop any caps. And yeah, Shasha going for the middle property right here, which is really strong. And lvjd going towards like the side. lvjd going for the island, getting this city comm tower, very valuable. Rocket, vroom, moving forward. See what that guy does. Brings the copter, brings all these infantry in front of the B copter, but it's fine because has this anti-air here. I think technically this copter could come here and strike at the infantry without getting killed. we'll see if Shasha decides to do that. Gets the middle capture, brings the anti-air to this side to, stop this harassment from this copter, makes another anti-air. Wow. Brings in a tank, starts shifting more infantry. Looks like now it's going to start going to the side. This copter decides to sit here. Oh, I guess, yeah, because this is Sturm, so Sturm can't really, Shasha couldn't have come with a copter here because it could have gotten trapped. And then it could have gotten killed. I still think it's kind of worth it. Like, you could hit one infantry and then another infantry. That's 2 infantry that you're hitting. That is pretty valuable for all these captures. But decides against it, decides to sit here so that this infantry can't capture the city. So it's stopping like a city for 1 turn. Like a 2k damage. So, gets more captures. Seeing this infantry walk through rivers is very funny. Just Sturm things. Just relentlessly walks like in front of the Bicopter because it has this anti-air. And sits the rocket right here on this city. Now, you might be wondering why. And this rocket, what it does, it locks. It locks these 2 cities right here, which is really nice. But it locks this port right here, which Shasha hasn't been able to start the capture yet. It's like just in time to for Shasha to start the capture and the rocket to be able to hit it and stop the capture. So this is, I'm pretty sure the lvjd like planned it. I was like, yeah, I can make a rocket, and in 1, 2, 3 turns it can sit here, so that on the 4th turn it can shoot at the port, which is when this Drake infantry can reach to the port. And so now Drake is gonna have a really hard time to get this port, which is essential. Like, I just can't emphasize enough how important this port is and how strong it is to delay as much as possible that port. Also makes a bomber, because this rocket is like all alone, right? It's all alone on a on an owned city. So a tank can hit it, and this anti-air could hit it, but it's not going to deal a lot because it's a Sturm unit on a city, so it's going to deal like, I don't know, 2-3 damage, like very little, and then it's going to repair up to 9 or 10, and it can still shoot. And if it does that, then they can get shot. It can get shot at by the bomber. It can get destroyed by the bomber. I guess it could get covered by an anti-air, but maybe it's not a fight that Shasha would want to start. Maybe yes, I don't know, because it's next to the airport. We'll see. Gets more captures, moves in, goes for the port. Shasha's like, I don't care that you have a rocket pointing at me. I'm gonna start this capture anyways. And brings these units in. Decides not to attack the rocket and puts the anti-air right just outside of range, and covers it with infantry. They're still in range. This is for sure gonna shoot at the port. And is threatening with a tank, so like the tank anti-air threatening the rocket. Makes a fighter, another anti-air. This copter has to leave this area. And another copter. It almost looks like they're both going for the same corner. Sometimes you'll see like one player go for one corner and the other player go for the other corner, so you kind of like have that like a little handshake, and like you get this one, I get this one, and then you kind of like fight to like get the other ones or something like that. But in this case, no, they were both going for the same one down here. Gets the city, gets the center city, gets another one. Really late towards here, the middle captures for lvjd, but it's because he decided to emphasize over here on this side. And actually Shasha like went for this one and didn't decide to go over here. I think it's wise because this anti-air could have stopped the capture without any tank support, so decided against that and went back here to get the counter. More captures, attacked with a rocket to the infantry, of course stopping the cap. This bomber nice and safe here in the middle of the sea. And this artillery is covering the rocket from any fire from the tank or anti-air. Brings the anti-air over here. I think it covers every single infantry, so these copters can't do much. I mean, they could both attack at infantries and then one dies because there's only one anti-air. We'll see if one's there. And we see a Sturm recon. Kind of late for a Sturm recon, to be honest, but it's still gonna be like 2, 4, 8, or no, 2, 4, 6, 8, and then it can literally, you can stop this city. Wow, it reaches here and then it goes 2, 4, 6, 7. Because Shasha is gonna go like this. This recon goes here, and then he starts capturing, and then he ended up set. Crazy. So let's see what Drake decides to do. Gets a few cities, gets the com tower, decides to continue capping, but doesn't have another infantry to join cap the port. I think that might have been a mistake, because this is for sure gonna get kills. Like, it's only at 5. It would have been really good to have another infantry here and then like join it here to just to make sure that either Sturm has to dedicate 2 units to kill the infantry, so that you can get the port, because not having that port is gonna be very detrimental for Drake if it keeps on going. Decides not to attack either. Like, could have gone here and attacked the rocket, but there's kind of like a lot of units. But decides to like pull back, make more units. Very interesting decisions from Shasha. I think I might have done something differently. I might have like sent a tank, or like you already have 2 tanks. You could send one of them. I guess I would have to check how much damage the tank would do to this rocket. It's on a city and it's a Sturm rocket. And Drake has 1 com tower. Maybe with 2 com towers it would have been like, you know, more easier to take that decision to attack. Recon comes in, for sure, like already threatening this insane. Decides to skip this city right here. Could have finished it. No, decides to trap the copter. And it has this anti-air here, so I don't think this copter can be freed and it will get taken out. This anti-air in the middle, outside of range of this tank. Copter comes in and finishes up the infantry. Yeah. Sturm is gonna lose the copter, but that's totally fine. Like, stopping this cap is huge. And now Drake has to either has to put an anti-air, but can only put it, the only tile that the anti-air can attack from is from this port, so has to like stop that cap another turn. You know, okay, but has to decide either to like send the infantry here and cap, or send an anti-air. So using this tile right here with air to stop that cap is also pretty strong. Well, air in general, no, I'll probably just use copters. Using a bomber to stop this cap is kind of a bit too much, I would say. And also decides, because this rocket already fulfilled its purpose and is under a lot of threat that can't really be defended, decides to move it away. So really respecting the big threat from Shasha. Also, like, can't stop any of these caps because it doesn't have like direct units. Like, can use the copters for example, but Shasha is just gonna destroy them all. So lvjd has to be very careful, because Shasha has a lot of presence already here. Like, yeah, he's successfully stopped the port cap, but Shasha is also successfully building a lot of units, a lot of counter units to lvjd composition right here. He's gonna get these 2 corner properties. That's very big. Finishing some other cities, and decides to send the anti-air and kills the copter from the port, essentially delaying the port cap an additional turn. Brings in the infantry. The tanks also kind of like go to this side, or I guess because it's like this side. Brings all. It has so many anti-airs. Insane. Also, Storm's air is not very strong because they have less attack, of course, but they have extra defense. But the defense can't stack with the terrain as it does with like ground units. You know, like the rocket was doing on the city, or any just unit can sit on a city and it's like 20 plus 30. It's like 50% defense. It's like hard to kill. Even damaging it, it's like you do very little damage. So that's like the nice thing that you can exploit from Stern, which air units don't get because they don't get any defense from terrain. Covering here, really nice here from Shasha. This recon now can't do anything other than attack a T-copter. So really nice here, blocking off the tiles so that he ensures that he's gonna get this capture. Because this anti-air doesn't reach either, so yeah, totally fine. Really nice. Again, another city skip from lvjd, decides to go for this one, which is very understandable. This one is super contested, so he wants to get it early. And shoots at this infantry, takes out the copter, shoots at the anti-air on the port, which is fine. Yeah. Also, you gotta be careful because these power charges are going up with all these little attacks, the copter, the anti-air. Yeah, these guys' powers are no joke. Gets this corner property, is gonna fly to this island, which lvjd already has from a while ago. So they've actually been at one comp tower each, so pretty even. We also got a Neo-tank. We got a Neo-tank from Drake. Oh, we also got a Neo-tank and a medium tank from Sturm. Usually medium tanks are, I don't know, kind of bad, but I guess with Sturm it's a little bit less worse because of the movement, so they can just go boom. But I also with Sturm, because of the lack of firepower, you want like more heavy hitting units. Like that's why you want indirects also, but you also want like neo tanks, medium tanks. You want stuff that can actually do damage, because tanks, it's just not like these tanks are just not gonna do a lot of damage. This fighter coming all the way over here, threatening this bomber. Kind of like Shasha is like shifting everything. He's like, oh, I got these corner properties. Awesome. Now I'm gonna shift. I'm gonna shift this way and get all these properties over here. Try to contest the middle. But also like ensure to get the port. That's super important. Like if Shasha can make a carrier and sit it right here, that's huge. Or also just a battleship as well, just like take control of this area. Sending this bomber to attack an infantry in range of this fighter. Wow. Gets the kill with the infantry, starts a capture and makes a carrier. That's why. So it's like, yeah, you can attack, you can kill my bomber, I'm gonna kill it with my carrier. And again, lvjd uses this tile right here to delay the capture of the port. So again, the same deal. That you're gonna have to make a decision here by Shasha. I guess you know it would have been ideal if Shasha could have had this copter. Yeah, I think it was 2 turns away, but like the next turn it could have sat right here on this tile, therefore ensuring to get the port. But it was just 1 turn too late. Could have also maybe like put the fighter here. That would have been a different approach. But yeah, also brings back the rocket to the little, its little home here on this city, pointing at that port, being like, nope, you're not getting that port. Now let's see, we're also getting close to the powers, especially for Shasha. Okay, starts the capture on the com tower, goes for the bomber and can't kill it because Drake, less firepower on air, Sturm defense. Wow, fighter leaves a bomber at 3. And the copter comes in and attacks the carrier, does 1 damage, 1 damage. I think it probably does like 3 in a normal scenario, and makes a bomber. I think it's also really good because he puts the copter here so that this carrier can't come and sit here the next turn, which would essentially lock this airport kind of like forever. Again decides to move away the infantry from the port. Send another anti-air and kill a copter. Those charges. Which is kind of this is so frustrating because I think he can't even join cap because you got the rocket and then you also have a copter. So and you can't kill a copter to then take the tile. If maybe the fighter was here or something, or more copters, I don't know. Really tricky here. lvjd really like making sure that Drake can't get this part right here. But Shasha also going for the attack, attacking the artillery over here. Moves in with some tanks and anti-airs on this corner. Brings in all the Neo tanks. It looks like Shasha is also positioning units in a strange way because to try to minimize the damage from the possible meteor from lvjd. Yeah, like this is a very weird positioning, right? Medium tank, a lot of medium tanks from Drake, which is very strange. Gets the city, so now they both have, you know, these two and these two. They're pretty even. The only difference would be, well, the port and like this, the corner. So Shasha a little bit behind there. Ooh, hey. Shasha a little bit behind there on the captures due to all this shenanigans with the rocket. Carrier shoots at the fighter, boom, is gone, and Drake already has the super prepared. Can Sturm get the rock before that? Shoots at the tank. Sends the tank to block off any attack over here, and the recon sends that one to repair it. Brings the Neo tank over here. It's a little bit more comfortable, I guess, for Sturm because he doesn't have to position things weirdly. Because you're gonna get hit with 2 HP global damage regardless. Doesn't matter how you put your units. Doesn't really matter. But when you're playing against missile COs, such a pain. You have to like position everything so that it doesn't, like, you can't just like make a big massive blob of units and like charge forward because it's just gonna throw that rock in there and everything is gonna be at 2 HP and it's pretty much all that kind of thing. So moving in the corner, artillery, the bomber makes a mech which is gonna be ferried by the T-copter. Makes a new tank attack. Nice, and another copter. Lots of copters. And now, of course, Drake, press the button. Boom! Everything. 2 HP global damage. Beautiful. You love to see it, you hate to receive it. Almost gets to take out the recon, but doesn't. Gets a lot of attacks in, has to be careful again because the rock is gonna come. Gets a lot of kills. Trying to take control of this area, but probably also to start a capture. I'm pretty sure this is gonna start a capture. Yeah, that's good. And it has another one to back it up to like join cap. So this rocket is gonna shoot at it, but there isn't a second unit, so it's not gonna be killed. Just sitting on the city so that the Storm can start a capture. Makes so many anti-airs. Makes a copter. Really doesn't want this carrier to sit here. I'm not sure what this killed, but I guess it can't really sit here because now this bomber is threatening to kill it. And now this rocket decides to shoot at the anti-air instead of the infantry in the port. Takes it out with the Neo tank and gets a meteor strike. Where does it land? Oh, up here. Oof. That was a good little deviation. So, what just happened there? Wait, what? Okay, so the anti-air must have come in here and killed the copter. And the copter just zooms through and attacks this infantry. So it has been delayed for another turn, which is really annoying. Yeah, this anti-air for some reason is not showing. That's very strange. moves the carrier, loads the bomber in, and just because it refuels it. Oh, dang! I didn't know it refuels it on the same turn. Wow. I thought it took one turn to do that. And sends a bunch of anti to repairs with a tank and brings the mag. Just makes a little blob here. Which is really funny because with Sturm you kind of want to do that. You want to make blobs of units and like force fights into blobs or death balls, because then the rock comes in and like plays more into your advantage. So right now we got very equal in like unit count and unit value. I think you could say that Shasha is ahead on unit count and unit value, slightly behind it in income. But I feel like Drake's super is stronger than Sturm's super. It is strong, like Sturm's super is strong. You can play around it though, but it definitely like forces you into very awkward positions. But Drake's super is just boom, 20%, just very, very strong. So it joins all the damaged unit, comes here to attack this copter, decides to go again and kill another copter with an anti. Wow, I don't think Shasha's ever gonna get this port at this point. And maybe Shasha knows that. Maybe Shasha's like, okay, fine, I'll just never get this port. I'm just gonna keep killing copters. Like I'll receive 3 HP damage on an infantry to then kill a copter over and over and over and over again. Although also does get hit by the rockets. I don't know, it's a trade there. Has 2 Neo tanks here. Decides to kind of like pull back here. Realizes that he can't do a lot of damage over here. Also, like during the power active, it has like insane defense. 20 plus 10, 130 is like Kanbei defense levels units. Let's see what lvjd decides to do. Of course, shoots with the rocket at the anti-air. Takes out the anti-air, just keeps bringing more units in this corner. Pretty much lvjd's strategy right here, as you have to have noticed, is like perma deny this port from Drake. Like completely disallow him to have that port so that he can't make carriers, battleships. To be honest, I'm not sure. Like I think it's a little bit fine that he could have that, because then it can get hit by the rocks, by the meteors, but decides no. He's like, nope, I'm not gonna give a chance to have that, and just stays in this corner. Just bundles up more units, kind of like, just doesn't even go for this capture, just like saying, come at me, bruh. It's like, I'm Sturm, I'm gonna sit with all my units and have you come at me, and then I'll drop a meteor. And Shasha is like, I'm not gonna engage, I'm gonna build more units because I'm Drake. I have global damage. Like my super is stronger than your super. Decides to make a rocket. Makes a Drake rocket. And now we see both players do the same thing. Pulling back. It's like, come at me. And then I was like, also pulling back. Come at me. I'm the stallier CEO. No, I'm the stallier CEO. I have the better super. No, I have the better super. But lvjd decides to attack over here. Does a little, of course attacks at the port. But doesn't attack too much. Just a little bit. Makes a battleship. Trying to consolidate the position here. Like this battleship from Stern on a port, unkilled. I don't know how much this Drake bomber is gonna do to this battleship. Like kind of 3 damage, something like that. I guess a good one would be to have the super and then hit it with a bomber. So let's see. Shasha, what do? Do you attack? You really want this port. You really need this port. You could put this fighter right here. You kind of need more air units also to cover these spots right here. At this point, might as well also do a missile. I don't know. I mean, probably not. It just takes forever. But it's one turn, 2 turns, 3. I guess it's 3 turns, and then 4 to be able to cover it. But not sure. So joint caps. It's at 6, and Please tell me you put the fighter here. Yes. So blocks the tile. So now doesn't have to do the whole anti-air thing. Has to send. Also, this copter can't reach. This bomber has to attack from either here or here to kill it, which can be taken out. Does lvjd do it? I don't know. We'll see. Drake keeps making more units. I have 3 neo tanks. I'm gonna have a rocket. We're seeing a lot of units, and like this is both favorable for both COs, which is it's very unique, I'd say. You could say it's also very strong for like a Sturm. Like look at this. This is like the ideal landing spot of a Sturm meteor, but Sturm is so far away from a super right now. It is high funds though, so like he could be getting the super in like 1 or 2 turns of attacks. But we'll see. I think Shasha is also he is super good in positioning, like not allowing those engagements. Like look at this, like you have first 2 infantry, then you have an anti-air tank, and then you have the neo tanks. So it's like really hard for a Sturm to try to charge in and get the charge from engagements to get the meteor without like first not getting the charge and secondly dying to counterattack. Look at all these units over here, just threatening, going for this city cap right here. It would be nice to have this artillery covering here, but maybe couldn't wall it. Moving everything here, sends the copters to attack, dropping it just at 4, like it will be at 2 the city, and also regroups and moves away over here. Needs to respect all of this all these units from Drake. And this bomber is being extremely annoying, blocking the city, so Drake has to send a fighter to kill it off to then get the city. Just being very annoying. Sends the medium tank to attack first. Joint caps. Moves in, kills a copter. Has another. Oh, this fighter comes in and attacks this fighter. Is he going for the power maybe? Or maybe it's just so that the fighter can't kill this copter. Doesn't get the kill. Oof. That's a Sturm infantry defense. But doesn't really engage too much. This fighter actually didn't even go. Oh yeah, because it's covered by a carrier. So you're just never getting that city pretty much. I mean, I guess you could attack from over here, from that tile. And maybe that's why the T-copter is covering it. Kills the other copter. Keeps bundling all the units, makes a mega tank. The mega chonker. The Storm attacks with the fighter over here to the fighter. Oof. Yeah, that was a very bad engagement here for Storm. With the copter and the copter. Why does this bug keep happening? This tank kills the tank. Neo tank comes in. Drake already has a charge. This is definitely an overcharge now. Bomber comes in. Does it finish off? It does. Finish off the tank. That's lvjd is definitely going for the super. Oh no, just the normal power. The power, and it's gonna land. Ooh. Usually, I don't like using Sturm power because it's a little bit underwhelming. I feel like sometimes people use it like in a stress situation. They're like, I'm losing, and they have to use something. But in this case, lvjd might have seen like this is a lot of damage. Yeah, like 3 neo tanks, rocket, artillery, plus the infantry. That's probably like the deciding factor for lvjd. The infantry has to stop the cap, but it gets to finish all these units from one hit. Finishes it off. Oof, the infantry with the rocket. Just being annoying with the bomber, and starts capping over here the city. And just kind of like it keeps regrouping and sends an infantry over here to like contest this little island. Just lvjd just being everywhere, just being annoying everywhere all the time. And then makes another carrier, 2 carriers and a battleship. Oh, this fighter came in and killed this. And Yeah, I don't know what happened here. There was another bug, but that was a pretty good turn for us turn. But we got now the rain. Boom! Everything drops down to 8 or less. Like already equalizing the unit value. Insane. Like it was 100k difference. Boom! That's insane. Comes in fighter on fighter. Finishes off the Neo tank. Kind of sucks for a few units to damage this anti-air to ensure the kill over here. Stops the cap with a rocket. Takes out the infantry. Attacks another infantry. Takes out that unit. Takes another unit. Takes out another infantry, and takes out this tank. Doing a lot of damage. And it doesn't want to concede this island. And this fighter comes over here, sits in the city, trying to attack at this bomber. And there's no anti-airs over here for Stern, no anti-airs whatsoever. There's only a 5 HP fighter. So this is looking like a Stern. You gotta retreat because you're gonna get hit hard. If you keep pushing. Oh, okay, he decides to keep pushing. Attacks the anti-air. Does it take it out? No, it doesn't take it out. Attacks the rocket. Just keeps attacking. Insane. Destroys the Neo tank, destroys the tank. And almost finishes off the rocket. Wow, actually a really good attack. Wow. So, that was really strong actually. And has another rocket. This is the first rocket that lvjd had. Now there's a second one, like just to ensure that Drake never gets the port. And it's also trying to counterattack here. I think Drake has like way too many units, but it gets a nice few shots. But yeah, it's like all infantry on max. There's not much that Sturm can do against this. Like, kind of has to pull back. Bomber comes in, attacks at the carrier. Interesting. Takes out the fighter, takes out the mech. Oh, finishes it off. Does finish off the carrier. Takes out the infantry. Comes in, attacks this anti-air. Oof, almost finishes off the artillery. Here, infantry and infantry. Takes out this copter. Oof, but also Sturm also getting dangerously close to a super. And yeah, here's the counterattack. Like, this is super overextended. Like this is Drake territory. But there is a lot of units though. Like they had medium tank, neo tank, bomber, 2 tanks, a copter. Like it is a lot, and it doesn't seem like Drake somehow doesn't have enough to deal with it. This mega tank can't reach. So yeah, like all these 5 are still alive and well. And this mega tank has to like sit here. Like this is looking really scary, but at the same time, Stern is about to have the meteor again, and this is like ideal for Stern. This might be like the most deciding moment. Like it's like when the match is like a little bit advantage, and then it swings a little bit, but it's never like deciding. It's like a little bit. Right now, it's like Stern is maybe a little bit ahead from Drake. But this part is really dubious because 1 turn more and all this is dead from Sturm, and then these rockets have like no support whatsoever, and then Drake will get the port and will get all these cities and can then maybe like swing everything to another side, something like that. And also like Drake has a lot of units, has more units and more unit value than Sturm. Just wow, after all these like crazy attacks. But because of these attacks from Drake, how he's over here, it could be dangerous. A meteor here, let's see where it lands. Oh yeah, that hurts a lot. Like this whole like nice army that Drake had over here is now completely wiped out. Like there's nothing, there's only a copter and a bomber. That's it. And this carrier is gonna be happy to take him out. He's gonna start finishing off everything, kills off a tank, a bomber, another infantry, a tank. Shoots at the infantry, attacks it again. Going for the city again. Kinda for sure has to pull back here. Like you can't keep fighting. Yeah, you have to pull back. Kinda like regroup a little bit. Stay away from the mega tank. Here comes a typhoon from Drake. Boom. Is Drake losing? I feel like Drake is losing. I think Drake really needs to get the city. It's really, this port is gonna be really tricky now because there's so many vehicles and just pumping so many vehicles to like counter all this push that it doesn't have infantry to capture the port. So like right now, it just now has 2 infantry. It's gonna take a while to get here. Finally takes out that infantry, but it's just never gonna get this city. This tank is gonna come over here to reinforce. All this push from over here is completely lost. But I guess Sturm is also not getting the city anytime soon because these infantry are injured. So they're just gonna stay the same regarding property wise and income. Takes out an infantry, takes out the tank with a battleship, shoots at it anti-air. Really wants to get this city, and moves forward with his carrier. Makes another carrier, and just regroups. Just keeps regrouping units, healing up a little bit. These two got hit by 2 typhoons. Insane, and welp. Yeah, ends the turn, and in the replay viewer it says draw. And I think technically what happened is that Shasha timed out. It is very common for Shasha to do that apparently. Like half of the losses of Shasha are timeouts. But I think we can say that lvjd has pretty much won this game. Like it's not like 100% and 0%, but it is like a pretty big difference. After that turn of that meteor over here, it was like Sturm, Drake, and then that meteor, and just cleaning up everything was like because Sturm already had the advantage, has the income advantage. And then like unit value, they were like pretty much the same, or like usually Sturm was ahead and then Drake would use the super and like it would like equalize, it would be the same, which is fine with global damage. But usually like for you to be winning as a global damage is that you do the global damage and it's like boom, like drops down, like it doesn't equalize, it like brings them down kind of thing. So for sure Drake was ahead. Sturm was ahead, lvjd was ahead, and was definitely also like setting up, like permanently denying this port forever. Like Drake is never getting the support, and also stopping the city. It also looks like he's gonna get this city because, well, I guess he could take out the copter and just like kind of engage over here, but it's just gonna keep increasing the disparity. Like Sturm has 36 to 27 units and 270k value versus 220, and for Drake to keep trying to be in the game has to like keep sagging units, and it's just gonna keep making the difference even bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's just gonna be a very slow like advancement of and progress. So from Sturm can go for the city, can then go for this one, could also go for this corner over here and just like slowly start boom boom. Can also like amass the units, has like so many units, is winning on this front and is winning on that front, is winning on all the fronts pretty much. And like Drake can like, yeah sure, send everything here to like, no, you're not getting my city, and like sends all these units, but guess what, Sturm is gonna get another meteor and just gonna land there, and it's just gonna be devastating. So GG, well played to both. This was an insane match. people were talking about it, I think, on the Discord, and I was like, huh? lvjd and Shasha. And it was a common consensus that lvjd won this match, although it was a timeout. Yeah, insane. Like, highlights of the match, right? Rocket, first vehicle, that goes like 1 and 2, then 3 sits here. Like the whole also the order of where lvjd sent the T-copter, like pay attention to where he used this T-copter. It was sent over here to then go to this city to have it captured by the turn that so that in the next turn the rocket could sit on an own city, so that if it got hit it would repair up. So everything very calculated, very strange but very calculated. And Shasha is an insane player, but lvjd just like throws you off, maybe, you know. It just does these like really strange plays that you wouldn't like. Usually you calculate everything of like what you expect your opponent to do, but when you have an opponent that you can't predict what they're gonna do, because they just throw you off. They make a rocket, bomber, like it's just very funny, but very, very effective too. Like, I think how Shasha played this map is like how you usually play it. Like, this is how the meta goes for this map. Like, you make a T-copter, then you make a V-copter, you harass over here, forcing an anti-air over here. Then, you know, the copter doesn't get much, but it kind of like slows down the cap phase maybe a little bit. Then you make a bomber, or you bring a tank, and then you kind of like delay this area. Like, Shasha played it very like meta, very like how you're supposed to play the map, or how like everyone plays it. And lvjd just like did a completely different thing. He was like, I'm gonna go stern, and I'm just gonna break the map. I'm gonna like tear it apart and just do whatever. Like, oh yeah, the delaying the port, I'm just gonna deny the port. I'm not gonna delay it, I'm gonna deny the port. And just like the complete commitment, you know, like sending copters to die all the time, just all the time. Like every 2-3 turns there's a copter going there to that port to stop that capture and dying. Like, it's like insane. Like, more copters all the time. It's just complete denial of the port, which is super strong. Like, you see here, like these carriers and battleships, they can lock the airport, but they can also like completely lock the whole area, because then nothing can fly or attack comfortably without getting shot down. The battleships are super strong. Like, battleships are super strong, but they tend not to be strong due to the strongness of air support, like bombers. But if you have all this area under control because of carriers, then battleships can do whatever they want. They can just sit here, whatever, and they can start shooting at all the land units with no response whatsoever. Like, land units can do nothing to battleships that are like sitting around here. They need air support. And once you get this rolling, like the carrier and the battleship is really, really tough. Like, Sturm could get away with like just having an artillery and like 2 anti-airs, you know, and just throw a few infantry and mechs, because he had all of this naval. The naval units in this map are so strong. It's insane. But yeah, we also saw like how like going back and forth, overextending also from Sturm. It's just, yeah. For me, it was a crazy match. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it too. I hope that you liked the video, and I will see you on the next one.